grass cutting. It comes out this line item, then we in turn invoice them. I know Councilman Whitman had a question on some of the stuff, but this, when we pay the vendor for that service, this is the budget line item where it comes off. And then we have a revenue source that ordinance finds revenue is where we charge for that, so. But that's the other significant line item in the
Most
budget.
of it's a pass-through, we get that money back.
Where's the version tablet service?
I was just gonna say that.
Verizon,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Verizon.
Yeah,
someone misspelled that.
I was gonna say, you confused me. I
That's a bad
Just like
version.
the S9.
Do I need to put my glasses
Man.
Oh, you did change
on?
it.
I don't know what you guys talking about.
Uh,
So, but yeah, then part of the check services is obviously the Verizon cost for the.
When they do use those tablets, they go out to a building, and they look it up, does it say who the owner is? I mean, what is it that actually
Yes,
shows
it
out
does.
there now?
It shows what we have in the treasurer's office, on
Right,
record
so
in the
if
treasurer's office.
it-
So if the treasurer's
Correct
office isn't updated,
information.
which happens quite often, if someone bought a house and they didn't do their transfer here,
Or the
affidavit,
homestead yet or anything.
we end up giving the ticket to the wrong person, we have to dismiss them. We get quite a bit. And they don't change
We know.
until someone finds out that the ticket went to the wrong person, then they do the transfer affidavit.
Yeah. In the
But
build
those are
up,
pretty much updated, I mean, they're good to go for the guys, I mean, they
For
work.
the most
pretty
part,
good.
yeah, for the most part.
They take the pictures of those as well, don't they?
in the build up of that too, that's gonna be part of the new ERP as well, that hopefully is gonna make that a lot more efficient. We talked about the assessor earlier today, and, maybe hopefully that new position will help them keep up, because obviously the assessor is the keeper of the property records. So we've already had discussions with Oracle and stuff like that, they're gonna be capturing that data, but still, that's the department's responsibility to keep that data up to date.
So that'll be real time up to date.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it'll be,
That's why they need the.
because right now it's the AS for 100, the BSNA, the assessing office works with AS for 100, and that gets shoot out to the tablets.
Right,
Now it's
right.
going to go from BSNA to Oracle, it's going to be shoot out to the tablets, which is a newer software, newer system, so
GPS, GIS.
GIS-centric and stuff, so
ABC.
it's going to be really neat when we get them, so. So hopefully it'll make their job a little bit more effective and efficient. So that's ordinance. Any other questions regarding ordinance? If not, then I'd like to go to page 43, which is the last department in the general fund, which is the vehicle maintenance department. To summarize, on page 43, top of page 44. A little bit of a decrease in the current year budget, and that's just not reallocation, but just a new estimation of the health insurance to the department. Pretty much that's the reason for that decrease, based on year-to-date information. And then there is a $255,000 reduction in the total budget for next year, and the majority of that, all that is related to the underground storage tanks. As you can see in that account, we've been spending some good money in that the last couple of years. Some are offset by a grant, the Musta grant?
Yeah, and we've been receiving.
Yeah, we've been receiving some grant money for it, but like I said, the department anticipates that expense to.
It
I don't know,
doesn't cover
it should be
all
over,
of it.
that expense should be pretty much wrapped up by now, or.
I don't foresee anything new unless they find something, but I think we're good for the moment.
So I'll let Keith, I don't see any other major changes, so I'll let Keith address it. If there's anything else you want to talk about.
No, there really isn't any change. With the new trucks, I thought we see a reduction in, at least some of our maintenance, but since we did the mechanics department, it'd be more efficient, but man, you can see our parts, we had to do a budget amendment this year on it just because, they're working pretty hard in there and getting a lot of vehicles turned around. Police department, I know, is pretty happy with the progress getting done on their vehicles, which are in there quite often.
So this includes police and fire vehicles, right, not just DPW vehicles?
Yeah.
And the education training and bonus, it's $1,000 less from, I don't know, need anybody, doesn't need any more educational training, or why is that not on there for this year, next year?
It's $2,400.
Huh?
If I may, Mr. Chair, if I may, what that is, if you look at it line item, it was estimated to be $1,000. There may have been someone in the original budget that qualified for a bonus. It's not like it's one of those, it's an allowance that's run through payroll.
It's a contractual.
Contractual
Oh, it's a
item.
bonus. I'm sorry, I was looking just at training and, okay.
The training
So,
down below is
yeah.
2,400.
So like, there's a couple allowances that would come out of that account, but it'll be contractual related. And as you can see, the year-to-date zero, and I believe we're past the time, because they're paid out certain times a year, we're past the time. So we're like, hey, there must have been a change where that particular budget is not going to come to fruition. So we reduced it out of the current year budget, and then we're not anticipating anything for next year.
And if you look down under training, we still have $2,400.
Yeah, and then here's kind of like the non-payroll cost for, going to conferences or other
Right,
training
right.
stuff, so.
Jason, do we still need the longevity line item or no? We should bring
I have it in
it
there because of history data.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
only, like I say, most of the longevity's been phased out, but you really have it in there for, it's an expense for history.
Okay.
If you look back in those years, you
Yeah.
have mine still, so. Again, take a look at the allocation, and a couple people are allocated here because of, I believe, water and sewer, or sewer because they're over there, or I forget why the allocation was, but that's a historical allocation, it's always been done with a couple of the mechanics.
I'm not, so we have 4 mechanics, that was gonna be one of my questions, but what is the 36 months mean?
They're not full pay yet.
Yeah, that position that Mike said, it might not be updated in the payroll system. We grabbed the position from field and payroll data when we populated these fields. So it could be where they just didn't update it. They could be more than 36 months, but Councilman Johnson's right. That's what the description kind of means, but is it
Okay,
exactly?
So it's a pay level?
Yeah, it's a pay level, yeah.
Okay. How much time they got in? Okay.
If they said the step increase happens in 12 months, then they'll say mechanic 12 months.
Oh, I got you.
So,
So all of them are past the, right,
first-
I got you.
yeah, past 32nd month at least, yeah.
Yeah.
Underground storage, what are they?
We had fuel tanks, and we had one and 2 at fire station, different fire stations, one in Ecorse, one in Eureka. We had a couple of them here at City Hall. I think we had a diesel, and we had a regular gas, we had a couple at and we removed them all because they were beyond their life expectancy. We were having problems getting insurance on them, so we yanked them with fuel cards.
Gotcha.
And when we go to yank them, when they took them out, we had to hire an
Like
environmental
remediation.
consultant, and there was evidence of leakage. So now we have to go through the whole process with the state, do ground testing, remove some dirt, but everything, the tanks itself removal, we had to pay for. Any of the contamination, 80%, somewhere around there, it's covered by muster funds, which is state, it's a Michigan underground storage tank, is what muster saying.
Are we all done with all that though?
Well, no, they're still
Not the
working on it. They're
remediation
not closed
part.
out yet.
Oh,
But
okay.
as a matter of fact,
So
some of
they're
the
still
latest
doing
information, some of the sites, like City Hall,
Mhm.
we're gonna have to do some kind of restricted covenant on the deed of our property here.
Oh, gotcha.
We did remove all the dirt, but the state still wants us to do some kind of restricted covenant on it.
Okay.
I don't think it's gonna only thing we're paying for at this time is some continuing sampling to see if it's dissipating. They just did a sample Monday, came in here and did some sampling Monday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, not necessarily related to a budget, but kind of on that storage tanker topic, we did get confirmation that I'm sure that many of you drive by the tankers on Beach Daily regularly and see them.
Please tell me they're paying them.
We have been
Please
working
tell me.
with Buckeye to move forward with painting them.
Oh, well, you're my hero.
Hang on.
I've been asking for what, 2 years now, 3 years?
Hang on, let me finish. We got confirmation this week that it will be assigned to a project manager by the end of May, and they're actually gonna take them down.
Oh, that's
Oh,
even better.
wow.
Good.
Yeah, so it's a process, it's gonna take a little bit of
Yeah,
time.
no, I.
Because of the lead paint, there's gonna be a different process.
Oh,
and you have to-
Yeah, but they've got approval, they just have, everybody's tied up, all the project managers, so they anticipate end of May. I would say add a month or two to that, because it never happens that time, but they're going to begin the process, and the goal is to get them down ASAP.
I thought Atlas owned those.
Well, that was sold to Buckeye,
Oh, okay.
so I think that's
I'm
one
glad
of
that
the
you
same.
told me that, because I was getting ready to reach out to Atlas on my own.
Well, I think they're, I'm not 100%, but I think they are now the same
Sisters,
ownership,
okay,
yeah.
all right. Well,
Is
hey,
it Buckeye?
I think it's Buckeye Petroleum, with Buckeye
well,
Oil.
that's good to hear, that's real good to hear.
Yeah, this has been ongoing for 18 months, year and a half, 2 years,
Yeah,
something like
well,
that.
So I brought it, what, 2-3 years, just getting them painted up.
Yeah.
And they're doing that voluntarily, we have no recourse to make them take them down.
Right, that's what I learned,
Just
that
you know.
they didn't have to, but they had to maintain them, so that's where.
They were gonna have to paint them at the
Making
minimum, we
painting,
could
yeah,
force them to do
exactly.
that if
That's
they
all I
decided
wanted.
to remove
But
it.
if we can remove them, that's awesome.
I think their analysis determined that the value of the scrap would help offset the cost of demolition, so it was more cost effective for them to go ahead and plan for the demo and get rid of the scrap, as opposed to just spending the money to paint them, and then you still got the liability.
That's even better, but what now would that property never be, what falls on the?
It was,
They would still own it, but I mean, they would be limited on what they could do there, correct?
It'll fall under the DEQ's guidance, and whatever they
Okay.
are allowed to do, they can do.
No, that's awesome news. You made my night.
Now, again, I'm cautioning
I know.
everybody. They're saying end of May, add a month or two to the process even beginning.